Hey, welcome to Broken World Entertainment. Episode 6 of Rings of Power dropped yesterday. And what's funny about this is the reviews that are coming out now from the typical shill media and shill people across YouTube and everywhere else. It's hilarious. I don't know what they watched, but it wasn't this episode. So just a quick recap. This episode, the orcs arrive and start fighting the villagers who abandoned a tower that has the bottleneck to get into it to go back to the village that they can be attacked from 360-degree angles. Right. And their plan was to set some carts on fire and throw them at the orcs in a town that has thatched roofs. Great plan. Jesus Christ. The Numenorian army with Gladriel out front, warrior Gladriel. Their ships seem to have warp speed because they made it there in a day. Then them on horseback seem to have made it in less than a day to the village. By the way, here's a question for you. They rode to the village. How the hell did they know where the orcs were? So, like, they land in the Outlands. How the hell did they know where they were going? I guess it was one of those because. So let's have a look at some of this stupid retarded shit that's on here. Because this part is crazy. IGN has given this episode a whopping 10 out of 10, calling it a masterpiece. A goddamn masterpiece, saying the tides of battle keep turning in the thrilling and devastating 6th episode of the Rings of Power, giving us fantasy television at its finest. Wow. Jesus Christ. Variety puts it down as Rings of Power episode 6 is the darkest, bloodiest and best episode yet. Whew. Or how about we go to John Campia, whose viewer wrote in. How they managed to write in this goddamn quickly? But they wrote in and said this. This is it. This is it. He repeats it twice. It took 6 episodes, but Rings of Power is now officially the show I've been waiting for. And you waited for fucking 6 episodes? Wow. And he goes on. I agree with John that 4 and 5 were certainly improvements, but this episode is the one that finally made me squeal. The battles, the little twists, and the large-scale repercussions made this the first episode I immediately restarted from the beginning, and once the credits started to roll at the end of it. And then Campia goes on to shill for it basically and say this was the best episode ever of the show. Now, to Campia's credit, if you saw his reaction to the first 2 episodes, he discussed how he almost walked out after the first episode and didn't go back, that he found it that boring. So he wasn't fully on board right away. But the problem with this person here, I won't say their name, is it's one of those people who you can see their opinions on the show kind of are influenced by the person they watch. I don't want my opinions to influence you on whether you like someone, fuck it, someone, or something, or whatever. You do you, man. You know, if you want to like it. I don't care. I don't know how you could like it, but if you like it, like it. But the way he says, like, oh, I agree with John. Like, the fact that he's saying now 6 episodes it took him to enjoy this show, because Campia wasn't enjoying it all that much up to this point, and he reflects on that. Oh yeah, I agree with John that 4 and 5 were certainly improvements. So you can see where some of the audience's influences from the people that they're watching. And I'm sure that goes both ways, like not just someone who goes, oh yeah, you know, it's growing on me. So their fans start going, oh, it's growing on me too. I'm sure it goes the other way. I'm sure if the likes of, I don't know, the erotic or something says, this is trash and this is why, you'll immediately get someone going, yeah, I completely agree. But Campia is not the only one, by the way, who is a part of the usual suspects who love everything. There's a bunch of them who are saying this is the best episode. By the way, the reason Campia thinks this episode is the episode, the best episode, wasn't even because of the battle or even Mount Doom exploding at the end. It was because of the talking in between. Right. Did he have Audible on or something while watching the episode? The talking between the episodes is what he thought it. With riveting dialogue like, you can't quench your thirst by drinking the ocean. Wow. Whatever. Oh, Grace Randolph hasn't even reviewed this episode yet. And looking at her timeline, it's not even, I don't even think she's reviewing it. Collider's website puts down that episode 6, in a brutal action-packed episode, the Outlands protect their home and see it ravaged. Also, who is Halbrand and where is Sauron? Halbrand is Sauron. So their recap for the episode is, it's great because the villagers protect their home, but it gets ravaged. So they didn't exactly protect it then, did it? And how did they protect it? They fucked off from it. They left it. And then, of course, Collider also puts out that Rings of Power beats out House of the Dragon in the Nielsen streaming top 10. Yeah, there's a reason for that. House of the Dragon doesn't qualify for the Nielsen ratings because it's not just on HBO Max, it's on standard HBO. So it doesn't qualify to be in the streaming section. You jackasses. But here is IGN's verdict of episode 6. And this just shows you how much these companies are sucking on the teats of these corporations. Walk that line. Their verdict. Episode 6 of The Rings of Power delivers exceptional action and character development in a high-stakes hour that reveals Adar's grand plan. Newsflash, we knew what his plan was last week. He flat out said it. he wants to block the sun. Jesus. This is fantasy television at its best. A gorgeous, emotional roller coaster that ends with an enormous blow to the heroes. I'm convinced that they were watching something completely different. And then at last minute went, oh shit, yeah, I was meant to watch House of Dragon. Or not House of Dragon, Jesus. That's probably what they were watching. Rings of Power, and just threw Rings of Power on to this review. Are you kidding me? Exceptional action. What, the action you couldn't see because it was so goddamn dark? Character development? What character development? You mean Theo saying how, oh, the hilt made me feel powerful and all this, and bleeding Don Lemon's response to that is hand him the goddamn hilt and say, be rid of it. By the way, the hilt was not a hilt. It was an axe. When did Adar switch that out? Don't know. How did they not notice? The weight of this is different. Don't know. How did not one of them go, hey, this is shaped like an axe rather than a straight line? Don't know. Don't ask questions. Same way as how the fuck did the Numenorians make it from Numenor to the Outlands in a goddamn day? Not to mention, how the fuck did they fit all them horses, supplies, weapons, armour, and 300 people onto those 3 tiny ships? I'm losing my mind watching this stuff. But my good God, and they think it was an emotional roller coaster. Why? It's not like any main character died. No main character died. Not just that no main character died. The characters who did, you couldn't have cared less. An enormous blow to the heroes. Would that be Mount Doom exploding in the most retarded way? Oh look, a bit of water hit it. And that's the funny thing with the sword hilt as well. It's meant to be the key to activating Mount Doom. It doesn't. No, it did. It moved 1 block. It actually moved 1 block, which set off the dam. And here's a question for you. How did the water go uphill? Because we see the water pouring in from the top of Mount Doom. So how the hell did the water go uphill? Not just that, but the trench the orcs made was clearly for the water to go. But we see where the water comes from. It comes from the tower that the elves were guards in for 79 years, I think it is. Or at least Elrond, or not Elrond, bleeding Don Lemon. He was there for at least 70. It's practically next to the mountain. How did they not see the trench being made? Now, we've asked that question when we saw the trench in whatever episode it was at this stage. But people are going, it was covered. They covered it. Did you not see? Yeah, they covered it. But they also removed every tree goddamn in a mile around it, with green, yellow smoke pouring up into the air. That's what, did the elves not look west or something and go, hey, that looks strange? So stupid. So, with absolutely incompetent writing like that, horrendous dialogue, and that's the only battle scene you're getting, by the way, in this series, that you couldn't see because it was so bloody dark. And yet they're all out there saying this was the best episode with so much emotional impact and character development. And IGN is calling it a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Get the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. I am convinced they're watching something completely different. And then remember they have to review this thing and just go, the reviewer wrote for that. Okay, just change a couple of names and stick our rating on that. Call it bloody Rings of Power. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'll leave it there for this one before I lose my mind. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.